What's up, everybody? Welcome to another Triple T podcast for knife makers. If you hang around long enough, you'll hear stories, lies, and tales of victories that never happened. And all of this stuff is fantasy inside of the head of my co-host, Denis Tyrell from Tyrell Knifeworks. I'm Jerid from Echo Blades, and dig in, folks. Here we go.
Nice lead in. Oh, man. So,
look, I just want to right off the bat, I want to just deflate this guy's big ass head and say that it was all rigged.
it was
Every
great.
bit of it was rigged. It was a setup from Rick and Denis to take Jerid down.
Yeah, you're right. It was a setup.
And it was Operation Success. We'll get into that later, though.
Soon enough.
What's up, man? I haven't seen you in a while. How are you?
Oh, yeah. It's been a long time. I had to spend the whole weekend with you.
I know.
It's good. Back to work today.
Get the fuck out of here with that. There's 5 people listening this week. Are you going to lie to them right off the bat?
Well, I had work to do. I got really far into profiling, heat treating 2 knives today. I was very excited. So, yeah, it's back to work. But
did you beat the heat?
I had already forged the Damascus last week, so this was all inside with the air conditioning on.
Nice. I know maybe people are tired of hearing about it, but it's back up to the surface of the sun again.
Yeah, I had to cut because I had to actually get to my surface grinder, so I had to cut down all those boxes. And just standing outside for 10 minutes cutting up boxes was bullshit.
Yeah. It was a hot weekend, dude. Apparently I live in 100-degree weather no matter where I go.
Yeah, it was a hot, sweaty weekend. Last week was so nice. It was so nice and temperate last week. I got some forging done. I was very happy about it, but then it all went to shit on Friday. But I guess we can't complain. It could be worse, I suppose.
Somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere.
Maybe. So
besides the part that I know, how was your week last week and what happened?
Dude, I had a great weekend. It was a short work week. That's always fun. But I was talking last week that I had a golf tournament to go to in Reno. And I ended up taking off Thursday. Because normally, for years and years, it's been a couple years since I've been to this event. But normally, another company and ours would get together and we'd do like a little friendly warm-up round before the tournament on Friday. And that didn't happen. So I called up our buddy Rick, who I was going to hang out with this weekend. And he likes to golf. So I hit him up and I was like, hey, buddy, you want to go out and hit some balls? And he agreed. So we went out and had a blast.
He made it sound like it was his idea.
He actually had mentioned it before, but I wasn't quite sure I could work it out because, like I said, normally I already have plans. But yeah, we got together. We went out and golfed in Carson City, I believe. In a really fair, flat, open course. And when you golf with new people, you're always, I am anyways. I'm always nervous you're gonna shit the bed. But I started off, I just blasted one right down the center of the fairway, probably 280, 300, and proceeded to golf a fairly decent round that day. It was about like 95. It wasn't too bad. It was hot. There's no wind this weekend at all. Like just still dry and hot, and there's no shade on this course. But we did the 9 holes and then went back to his shop and finally got the tour of Rick's place. just an awesome shop. It's like a knife maker's paradise in there. He's got everything.
He's got multiples of everything, not
Yeah,
just everything.
Seriously, he's got the knife maker's shop paradise. I mean, it just every time I turned around, I was like, ooh, 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 ooh. But I had to go check in to the hotel because the event started in the evening, like 5 or 6 or something like that. So we didn't get to do anything, but got to hang out for a little while, play some golf, see his shop, meet his buddy Mitch, cool dude, and then went and started the work golf event thing. Like I said, man, that place, they put on a great event for everybody. Great food, the hotel was awesome, and then I was all fired up for golf the next day because I played pretty damn good.
Where was the tournament? What golf course was the tournament
It
at?
was at Red Hawk.
Red Hawk.
Yeah, so it was a beautiful, beautiful course. 2 courses on it, the hills and the lakes, and we ended up playing on the lakes. But I was, I knew I was in trouble because I have a excuse me, I have a love-hate relationship with like going to the driving range and warming up because I'm not very good. So I feel like sometimes I waste
You're
all
not
the
very
good shots.
bullshit. I'm not very good. You're way better than not very good.
But I started hitting some balls and I started getting the yips and I was like, oh fuck. And then I got in my head. But thankfully it's like it's a best ball tournament, so it was cool. But I really shit the bed on Friday and it was hot. It was hotter than it was Thursday. And I think I was tired from just being out in the sun all day the day before. I didn't,
So you had hot, sweaty shit in the bed.
Yeah, seriously. It was fun though. Great people. Yeah, and that event's really cool. Will Clark was there from the Giants, and you guys all probably know by now my general disdain for the San Francisco Giants. So much that I hate the color orange with a passion. But Will Clark gets a pass for me. That dude's a freaking beast. Super cool dude. Always telling great stories. He was there. Festus Azili from I am fucking that name up. I can't believe that. From the Warriors was there. Basketball players are tall, bro. Like I'm telling you, like I know that sounds stupid, but if you stand next to somebody that's 6'10", holy shit.
Yeah.
I don't feel small around a lot of people, but this dude, man, that was cool because they have these celebrity holes. This one was over, it was like 170 over a water onto not an island green, but you had to clear a bunch of water. And I, hell of people around, just like probably 20 people, maybe 10. Sorry. Now that I really think about it, maybe 10 people. But Lamont and Tomnelli from the radio, the Bone down here, they MC the event. So one of those guys, the littler dude, was there. But anyways, I stuck that green, and dude comes up to me and like he's like, "Oh man, nice shot," and gives me a fist bump, and like a fist bump, Dennis. It was like this to my my fist hit.
Oh,
like,
the basketball guy. You mean?
Yeah, the basketball
okay,
guy.
Okay.
And I was just like, whoa. And he's just a fucking big dude, man. So that was cool. Then proceeded to go back and sleep for like 3 hours after that. And then they have the big dinner where those 2 guys get up and talk. They do a raffle. Great prizes. I actually got skunked this year. I didn't get picked.
So you got skunked all weekend.
Yeah, literally all weekend. Fucking ass. So then, but it was at a casino, right? So I'm not a gambler. You a gambler?
Yeah, I would say I'm a gambler. I like gambling.
Okay, I don't. It's never been my thing. Like to me, I always think about like even if I spend $20, I always think that's a lot of tacos. Like I could have a lot of tacos with that money. And
I mean, I'm not a crazy gambler. I'm not going in spending thousands, but I've sat down at a table with 1,000 before.
Oh no, never, not even close. Like I think a couple years back, we had another work event in Vegas, and I had my wife with me, and I think we pulled out like $200. That was the first time I've ever used an ATM at a casino.
You weren't ready for the fee?
No, fuck the fee. The fee was easy, dude. It's
Oh, okay.
the amounts that they default to.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I want quick cash $40. They're like, first one was like $200, then up to like
Yeah.
10,000. Like, it was crazy. That was a trip to me. Cause ATMs, like 20, 60, 80, 100,
Oh,
300, and you got to get special. You got to go inside to the bank, not these. They were just
well,
like,
usually you go and it's like, yeah, it starts at 200 or 400, but it's fucking $20 to get. It's the fees are ridiculous.
I don't remember the fees, but I do remember just being like, no, custom, custom. Just like, so but I didn't do that this time. But so a part of the deal with the event is that you get $100 chip back from when you check in. So I was like, well, shit, $100. This is great. I'll go try that. So,
and this isn't one of those you got to play it in order to make it. Like,
no, you could
this
cash
is
the chip in.
$100. You can put it in
It's
your pocket.
$100 chip. You could cash it in and walk away with $100, or you can go lose it. And that's what I did. So, but I normally
would you play?
I played before. Anyways, I played craps for the first time ever, and never, like, I think you and I were talking about it, and it never dawned on me to like YouTube the rules or like to try to figure out how to play it. I just walked up to the thing with a couple of buddies from the tournament, and the dealers really just, we got the first night I went in there 20 minutes, lost $60. It was like this, boom, gone. It was a shit show. And I didn't get it. I still was just like, okay, whatever. So I was like, all right, I'm going to bed. That was an early night. And then the Friday night I was like, well, I got $30. I'm going to see what happens. And
that's not enough to play with craps.
I played for like 2.5 hours
You
off
got
that
really
30.
you had a good run, but craps goes in runs kind of thing. And the best part about craps is that it's the most social game at a casino.
Yes.
Because everybody is going for the shooter. It's not like at blackjack, you don't give a shit if the guy, you don't want the guy behind you or the anchor chair, the last guy, to be an idiot and take a card he shouldn't have taken that would have busted the dealer.
Okay. That's a great point, because that's why I don't play blackjack, right? Because I'll be down there and then I'll start feeling anxiety or something, and then I can't count, and then I'll do something wrong and I'll piss somebody off, and then I want to fight them, and I'm like, this isn't fun.
Any other table, they don't give a shit if you win or lose, but at craps, everyone wants the shooter to do well. Oh, unless you're a dick playing the don't come line, but most people don't do that.
Yeah, I learned though to play the top part with the 6, the 8s, and the 9s, numbers, and the numbers, and the hard way, and blah 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 blah. And so I started making money, after I started rolling. But I had a roll for like I think I had the dice for like 20, 25 minutes or something. It was a good roll. There was a lot of happy people that didn't share, I'll tell you that. No. And I didn't make nearly as much as some people were, but yeah, I had the tables going. It was cool, man. That part was fun. The funniest part was my very first roll. I threw it and it barely made it halfway across the table.
Oh,
and so the dealers, they scold me. They're like, oh, we got the 4 on a short roll, and I was like, what the fuck does that mean? They're like, he's like, big dude like you, man, you got to throw those dice. I mean, come on. So the next throw, boom, I fucking chuck them. They pop out the table onto the floor. I'm like, see? So, and then I started to get the hang of it. The dealers that were on the table were super cool. They were a lot of fun. They were helpful. It was fun. I had a good time, and then I ran out of money. And then ran out of money and went to bed. Yeah.
Did you play roulette at all?
No
roulette.
I didn't. That's another game I didn't get. I think I didn't understand how I figured it out though, that everybody has the different colors. But the one thing I didn't understand was the mark. with the glass thing.
Yeah,
That's
you
it.
thought they were just
It's
scooping
like I
shit.
was mesmerized that this fucking dealer was like a freaking witch or something, because the thing would, hit the point, and then all of a sudden she'd just wipe all the chips off the table, and I'd be like, how the hell did you figure, like, and then she's giving people back money and stuff. And so yeah,
My,
I ain't
my
the sharpest shit in the tool, I'll tell you.
the one story I have about roulette. I'm in Vegas with a buddy's bachelor party. Okay, these guys, these are all engineers. They're all software engineers, and there's 18 of us. And even though these guys are all math guys, they know the odds. They love to find roulette tables that have like black, 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 black. Like they show you the last rolls, and they want to bet
Yeah.
on the opposite, even though they know it doesn't matter. So we get there, and they want to bet on roulette. I don't like roulette, but they force me basically. Okay, fine. So I take a $5 chip, put it on 23, and it hits, and I make whatever, like it's like $250 or something like that, because I put it right on the number.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Right after that roll, we leave that casino. We go across the street to another casino, another roulette table. There is a wedding party, a bunch of guys, a bachelor party at a roulette table. And there is, and I'm not exaggerating, there is 2 feet of chips.
Oh,
At
geez.
least 24 inches, maybe 18 inches of chips stacked around 23 like it's the Empire State Building.
Oh, wow.
And they're getting ready to roll. And I'm like, I got to get in on this. I put a $5 chip on 23. Back-to-back rolls, it hits 23. Wow. The casino must have paid out 10 grand.
Oh, wow.
Not to me, but
right.
Of all the chips on it. And I had 18 witnesses, and they couldn't believe it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. That
would keep me coming back.
Yeah, no kidding.
That's what I could see how people get stuck doing it, because you're like, oh man, and every time I was like, I think I should do that, and then it would hit, and I'm like, mother.
Yeah, but this is the guy that got married. This is the same guy. He's up like $2 grand for the weekend, and we're on our way to the airport, and he's like, I should just go put this on black. I'm like, no, fuck you. You shouldn't go put it on black. Put it in your pocket.
Yeah. It was a good time, man. I enjoyed it. I think I'll do it again. I have enough. Oddly enough, I don't have any self-control in any area of my life except for the loss of
money at a casino.
Yeah, at a casino, and the loss of the potential tacos. It's really the driver, right? I'm honestly. So I had a funny story though. So one of the guys that I was golfing with, was we were just talking, and about golf, and because I pretty much gave up. I used to golf like 3 times a week minimum. Like, I golfed a lot. It's my personality.
Golf 3 times a week, man. Holy shit!
It was great. It was beautiful. I had a lot of balance in my life then. It wasn't really balanced. It was all golf. But I there are people, oh, are you still golfing? No, it's not, because I pretty much gave up golf for knife making, right? Because you can't be away from the family, and like it's a time commitment more than anything, right?
Yeah,
money sucked too, but it's, you go out on a Saturday morning and you could spend 5-6 hours out there on a slow afternoon, right?
easy.
So that doesn't work for too long, right? So and it turned out great, right? I got into this, and here we are today. But so I was talking to the guy. It's like, yeah, no, I gave up golf for knife making. He's, oh, you make knives? So did the whole share, Care Bear share, and he turned out to be a knife guy. And he's like, oh yeah, I just bought a nice knife and this and this and that, and excuse me. Later on down in the afternoon, he says, I was like, so what else? And I was like, hey, you have Instagram? I was like, hey, here, follow me. So I showed him gave him the Echo Blades account, and he pulls it up. And guy he's got a personal account, right? With very little followers, right? But he picks it up and he goes, holy shit. I go, what? He goes, Jimmy DiResta follows you? And I was like, yeah. He goes, dude, that is the biggest flex I've ever seen in my life. He goes, Jimmy DiResta is my idol, and just goes off about like how DiResta, everybody has their guy, right? And I know DiResta's that guy for a lot of people, right? And I was like, oh yeah. I said, well, check this out. And I went in my pocket because we met him at Maker's Camp. And when I met him the first time, he gave me a card with his name and his number, and was like, hey, give me a call anytime. So I pulled that card out just to be an ass, And dude was like, oh my God. And he was like all fanboying out on the thing. He's like, I can't believe you met that guy. And that I don't get that very often, Dennis. I'll tell you, nobody thinks I'm cool. So when you get in that, nobody's ever done that when I said I know Dennis Tyrell. So
Well, if it makes you feel any
Actually,
better, I don't think Jimmy follows me.
well, it's par for the course. No pun intended. But it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. I enjoyed it. He enjoyed it. We had a good time. But yeah, I felt like a little badass for a while.
Nice.
Yeah, it was cool.
Do you sell a knife?
I didn't. I came close and potentially I talked my way into maybe Echo Blades being in a part of the raffle next year for the event, which is pretty cool.
Yeah,
that'd be a pretty cool deal.
Yeah, that's when you probably win and get your own knife back.
Well, you get to pick. So,
okay.
Yeah, I'd gladly pass on it. But maybe I could double, huh? That'd be a great idea. Get my own knives and sell them again. Who's ever done that? Huh? I want to hear it. Have you ever sold a knife to yourself?
No.
And then sold it again?
Can't say that I have.
Yeah, it's your lame. That's why.
Cool.
But yeah.
Sounds like the tournament was a good time.
Yeah, it was fun. A lot of fun. Hot as hell, though.
Yeah.
No sleep and hot as hell.
Well, I want to shake it up a little today, and there's a reason. Let's do Maker Spotlight first. And then I will tell everybody why. So why don't you go first, because I'm going to go last.
Quit telling me what to do. Huh? What about that? How about you just mind your business and let me run this show? It's 50-50 here, buddy.
Hey, I got it planned. So
all right.
That's my lead in.
I understand. You're lucky. Hold on. Because
you're not organized?
I am. So I have Mr. Jeremy Ballaball from 419 Forging. That is 419 Forging on Instagram. I believe he has a YouTube channel too. Small one. I don't know if he's active on it, but Jeremy has 1,290 followers, and he has been, I think he started making like a year before I did. So we kind of been on the journey, similar timeline, and I've watched him grow like we get to do with this amazing community. But I was just seeing him be a lot more active here in the last month or so. And he posted this knife the other day, which my volume is on, and it's absolutely making me mental. But he's got a nice chef knife with some wood from Ryan Chadbourne Knives, Ryan Coakley over at the Hustle and Grind. And I think it's freaking badass piece. So I thought I'd give him a shout out. Yeah. That's really nice. Really nice shape. Finish is nice. The handle's beautiful. So thought I'd give him a little shout out. And if you're not following Jeremy, make sure you go do that. Show him some love and check out the rest of the stuff he's doing. And shit, if you feel like it, go buy a knife.
Yeah, we've been kind of friends with Jeremy for a while now, and good to give him a little shout out.
Yeah,
haven't heard from him in a while. I think he had I don't know if he was on a little hiatus for a while or what. I hadn't seen many of his posts in a while.
Yeah, I think he's got one of those jobs where it's like
seasonal?
A lot of work, and then he's got like a pretty good chunk of time off, Okay. So maybe he was in the busy season for a while, and he's got some time to do it. But yeah, he's posting a lot now, but does his own Damascus. He built a press, just the whole thing. So go check out Jeremy Balabaugh at 419 Forging.
Yeah, go give him a follow. Jeremy's a good dude. So who I have this week is
Mr.
our
Tyrell?
buddy Rick Hall at Rick Hall Knives. So I know Rick. I've known Rick for a few years at least. Rick and I did our journeyman together. We're chatting back and forth, about our knives. Before that, I've known Rick for a while. He's been here. I've been to his place. We've done a collaboration, that Ocean Sunset dagger. The Damascus for that was a collaboration. We've done some Damascus hammers together. So we've done a lot of stuff together. So when he contacted Jerid, like we talked about last week, I suggested, because every time Rick and I, and Jerid, whatever, get together, it's always like some big grandiose, let's spend 12 hours a day in the forge. We wanted to relax a little more this weekend. So we wanted to pick something much lower key. So we wanted to do this throwing knife project. So we'll talk a bit more about that, but definitely go check Rick out at Rick Hall Knives. We were looking at Rick's, he did this Turkish twist Damascus frame handled Bowie knife that is just spectacular. Like the Damascus on this one is like incredible.
It's amazing.
He's going to be posting that one soon. So if you're looking for
it's up. It's on there.
Oh, is it up there now?
Yeah.
Amazing knife. Go talk to Rick. So give Rick a follow. And watch for him in this week's Triple T video. So we're going to have some fun on that one.
Yeah, that was a good time. That Turkish twist is an absolute banger.
Yeah.
I got to hold that one. I was just like, oh man.
Yeah.
Did a bang up job on that.
Yeah, just an amazing job.
Great maker, super, super awesome dude. So helpful and always just trying to help, offering, just fucking super cool dude, super knowledgeable, just and a badass maker. So yeah, make sure if you're not following Rick, make sure you go check him out.
Yeah, he's always ready to put your knife in a vise for you.
He's a big ass dude too. He's another big dude. He's strong like bull.
Yeah, Rick, I think is 6'4", and he looks like a football player. So
yeah,
he
does.
So, what do you want to? Actually, no. Let me tell you about a bit about my week last week. So before you left, I started forging some. I needed some copper Damascus for a project. I'm working on this karambit project because it's just for a video. This is not a custom order or anything like that. I've spoke before that the karambit is this karambit. I've made karambits before.
It's your nemesis.
Yeah, it's just coincidental that like the last 3 times I've screwed up a kumai billet, it was trying to make this karambit video. So finally,
why does that make my heart smile?
I know, yeah,
beautiful.
But this time it worked out stellar, and I think it might be some of the best kumai I've ever done. So I'm really excited to see it. And then when I made the billet, and today I'm looking at it, and I was going to make a pair of karambits from it, but because they're karambits, and normally you would say, okay, I'll make a billet that's whatever 1.5 inches wide, and I'll just curve it. It's really hard to do that with a kumai. I don't want to risk hitting it on the edge and having it delaminate. So I actually made a 3.5 inch wide billet that is 18 inches long. So
it's a big billet.
Yeah, it's a lot of steel. Yeah. So I thought, well, if I make 2 karambits because they're kind of crescent shaped, that's pretty much going to use up that whole billet. And I mean, I've got that center piece I'll probably save for a folder, but then I ditched the idea. I made one crambit and I made a Bowie knife. So I've got 2 knives coming out of this billet that I'm very happy about. But yeah, and this is the first time I've ever, and it sounds silly, but the first time I've ever laddered, because normally when I make kumai, I will put a pattern into the Damascus before I layer it
the
with
cladding.
copper. Yeah, it's the cladding.
Okay.
So I'll twist it. I'll do something with it. So in this time, after talking with Koi, the way they do it, of course, they get to some patterning depth and then they put a pattern in it. So I ended up grinding in, because I don't have ladder dies, and I'll talk about that. Grinding in took me like an hour and a half on an angle grinder to grind in the grooves for a ladder.
Ooh, that does not sound fun.
It was not fun at all. My hands were like, you use an angle grinder too long.
I do.
It was terrible.
Yeah.
But the billet came out stellar, like so good that I'm really, really excited to see what it looks like. So
I'm following you right. You laddered the entire billet with the copper in, and then pressed that,
and then and then went back in the forge and drew it out.
Nice.
But and I was worried it was going to draw the pattern out too long. It came out perfect.
Good.
And this one's got double copper with 15 and 20 between the copper, double copper on each side. So I think it looks really cool. You guys will see pictures. The buoy's already sold. I haven't even made it yet. And, but I'm hoping to get the Crambit video up this weekend. So we'll see. But I'm definitely making ladder dies for the press. That's probably in the books for next week or something like that. So yeah, that's the exciting part. Also last week, I know you and I have been working on this billet. Well, we worked on that billet. We made some basket weave.
What was our intended? What was our intent? Because I was trying to think about it the other day, and we had like this plan.
Yeah, I remember we were gonna make Neil's.
Oh, that's right.
Knots and crosses pattern, and I totally own this. When we were trying to make C's, but the billet was square, so we knocked in the corners, and then I got confused, and then we basically unseed it. So that
I just want to say, because this probably won't ever happen again. I said, Dennis, I think you're undoing what we did. He goes, "Shut up, Jerid. You don't know."
I didn't say shut up. But yeah. Anyway, so we ended up with straight lines on was like a square thin billet, so we couldn't really do anything with it. So I said, "Hey, why don't we make a basket weave?"
Yep.
So I eventually we had all these bars.
Yeah.
Then I cut them up into kind of 1.5 inch pieces, stacked them all up after re-squaring or four-weighing and all that stuff. And then stacked them up and then split them down the center like a feather. And when we were at Rick's, because I brought them, and this is a big billet, and I cut it in 2. And Jerid gets half and I get half, but I hadn't seen what it looked like. And then we etched it at Rick's place, and then it was way better than I thought it was going to be.
Dude, it is insane.
Yeah,
I was very happy.
Really good.
I was like, that was a great idea. Great save, Dennis. Great save.
Just making lemonade out of lemons.
That's right, man. Orange juice out of oranges.
Yeah. So my last week was setting up for the 3 builds that I'll be working on. So the buoy, the cram bed, and then I'm going to be making a big dagger out of my half of this basket split. So I got some other plans.
What the hell I'll do out of it? We're going to get a lot of steel out of that thing now.
Yeah, it's about an
bigger
inch.
Half.
Yeah, I took the bigger. My saw didn't exactly cut it on a straight angle, so there's a bit of a ramp. But yeah, it's about almost an inch thick, right? Maybe 7/8 each side.
Yeah,
about that. Almost, maybe a little less, but
Yeah, mine's probably a little over half, but
Yeah, probably 5/8 or something. But it's also an inch and a half by 4 inches, so it's definitely a good sized knife.
yeah, I meant to do a reel on the reveal of
Yeah,
that thing. It was badass, dude. Came out, I was like, woo.
yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And I already got in my head what I'm going to do with it, so I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag. But I
But
think
if
it'll be the cat's ass.
the what?
The cat's ass.
Why?
The
It's
bee's
good.
knees.
It was really good. Yeah, there you go. I didn't want to be a cat's ass.
The
I
cricket's
started,
elbows.
somebody, I think, oh man, somebody said who's it? Jeff Carey from Armored Up. He sent us this video of like a diesel on a boat that was shaped like a diesel truck going down the road. And he's like, "Ooh, it's a cat's ass," and I'm like, "I don't agree. I think it's fantastic. I think that's really cool." We went through that whole thing again, but
I should look up the origin of cat's ass, but
my favorite out of all of that shit that happened with that, my favorite was when Justin um
Lamoureux?
Lamoureux sent us a picture of a bar called the Cat's Ass in Saskatchewan. I didn't share that with you?
I don't think so.
Oh yeah. He's got a picture of him cheesing with pointing up to the big, it says Cat's Ass on the front of the bar. It's pretty cool. But if you didn't want to take the chance to unsee seas and fuck your billet up and then turn it into something super awesome, where would you go, Dennis?
And if you didn't want to make kumai by yourself, you should go to the experts over at Baker Forge and Tool, because it's a lot less effort. Those guys will just get it done for you, and they really have some of the best steel around. I'm just trying to emulate one of their patterns in the one I did, but Coy and the boys, they got that process down. And now they got a new Blanchard grinder, so they're going to be
Yes.
pumping out billets even faster.
Yeah.
So yeah, go get yourself some steel at Baker Forge and Tool. And if you are looking to make your own steel, your own Damascus, you got to go to Maritime Knife Supply, because Lawrence is the man. He will cut your Damascus to whatever length you want, and I love that feature because I'm lazy and I don't want to cut it up myself. That is really my least favorite thing, is cutting up. When I used to have to cut up Damascus, it's an hour or two in my shop I don't need to do. I just ordered, what did I order? 40 feet of steel, all pre-cut. It's the best ever.
40?
40 feet of steel,
Wow.
all pre-cut for Damascus.
Jeez.
How long would that have taken me to cut that into 4-inch pieces and grind the burr off the side and ugh. Yeah.
I
So
don't know how long it would have took you, but it took you nothing
exactly.
because of our boy.
Yeah, so if you need steel, you need any. I just got some incredible scales from Lawrence. I got those that what is he called? G10 Damascus or whatever. Very
Mm-hmm.
cool. I like those.
I haven't
Uh,
seen him in person.
yeah, no, they're pretty awesome. So yeah, I'm looking forward to using those. And
You can
yeah,
also get gator piss.
that's right.
He does carry gator piss. And if
He
you aren't
does.
using gator piss, you should really use gator piss to do your etch on your next Damascus build, or that beautiful steel that you bought from Baker Forged and Tool. I think this week he came out with some more says backed by popular demand, the Elite Aurora Mai.
Yeah.
Yeah, crafted with 1084 core cladding, copper, Damascus, and nickel shims in between. And if it's not already gone, go get you some. And you should check out the Baker Forged and Tool app as well, where you can get early access to all of the drops a day sooner. And while you're at it, you should go use the discount code Triple T10 and save some money.
Yeah, the Aurora Mai, that's the one that has like the band of Damascus and copper in the center with the black on the top and the black on I almost did that one instead, but the cladding I had was too thick to make that happen. So
Nice. And our buddy Lawrence is actually sponsoring a the Great Lakes Custom Knife Show in Godrich. Help me out.
Godrich
Godrich? I guess that is
in
Godrich.
Canada.
Ontario in
Oh
Canada.
yeah,
Yeah, it's
Godrich. Yeah.
Canada's largest knife show located on the picturesque shores of Lake Huron and featuring some of the best talent in Canada.
It's Lake Huron, by the way.
Huron? Why don't you
Huron.
guys say things that like in English?
Huron. How else do you say that but Huron?
Huron.
That's what it is.
What did I say? Huron?
Yes. Oh. And you know what else Lawrence is sponsoring? The Apocalyptic Challenge.
Oh, nice. But before we go there, go check out the Great Lakes Custom Knife Show at Great Lakes Custom Knife Show on IG, or visit their website at greatlakescustomknifeshow.com for more information. And that event is happening on August 17th. So if you're in the area, go check it out for sure.
Hey, if that happens next year, maybe that's a good excuse for me to go back to Canada. My mom keeps bugging me.
Let's go.
Because then it'd be a business expense because Godrich isn't far from where I'm from.
Really?
Huh. Yeah.
I don't know the Canada, how that all works out.
I'm from the province that dips down into New York, Ontario.
Ontario.
Now Jared's looking at a map because he's geographically challenged like every
I'm
American.
actually not, except for Canada.
The closest country.
I'm Mexican, dude. One time I look up is for fire sprinklers. That's it. No, not for Canada. Sorry.
That's it. We just lost like the 2 Canadian listeners that we have.
My Canadian friends is quadrupled 15 times since I started making knives. So I love all my Canadians.
You better. We're the best. Right.
Sing me the anthem. Come on.
Oh, Canada. No one wants to hear me sing.
Oh my God. I was getting so happy.
You know what else happened last week that I thought was funny as hell? Thursday morning, I'm sitting downstairs having coffee with my wife, and she goes, my computer won't come on. And I'm like, what do you mean your computer won't? She goes, my computer won't start. So she phones IT at work, and apparently just about every Windows computer in the world wouldn't start. Of course, I'm a Mac guy, so I think this is just hilarious. I meant to post something on IG and Instagram, just having a fun morning, turning on my Mac and having it work.
That's funny. Oddly enough, I had the day off, but on Thursday, but our company didn't use the whatever it needed to glitch out. So all of my employees got to.
You guys run Windows 97? Is that why?
I don't think so. I think it's 10. No.
Windows XP.
Yeah, XP. We just upgraded to Vista last week, dude. Yeah, I was like, oh shit. I think now I'm going to start getting calls. The people there's nothing to do and have to send people home. But no, everybody was good. They got the full day of work and nobody was flying anywhere. Flights were canceled. Surgeries were stopped. It was
I want to know how many millions this is going to cost Microsoft.
Yeah, it's not a good day for them. But yeah.
All
you know what happened? You know what I got?
What did you get?
I got my order from Pelican Paste. Today when I
got home. You know how I know that? Because your wife stole your soap.
She did already?
You didn't see Travis's post?
No.
Travis reposted your wife's post that said that she was stealing your soap and you're going to have to order a new one.
Oh my God, I haven't seen that yet. What's going on here?
It's funny to me that you haven't even seen it.
Well, I've been busy.
Yeah, she stole.
Oh shit!
She stole your shop hands.
Oh well, that's good for her. And Travis, I guess.
More for Travis than you.
As I'm looking through. Oh yeah, okay. I'm gonna stop getting sidetracked here. Yeah, I haven't seen that yet. So yeah, congratulations to Mrs. Echo Blades. But I got my order from Pelican Paste. I got a big tin of the soft wax, and then I got my custom. I think I got 12 custom tins for with the Echo Blade logo on the top of the tin. All soft wax to go out with some orders. And I got the soap, obviously. And Travis did confirm last week that I was the first person
Yes, I
to
saw
buy
that.
it.
I
Yeah,
saw
that
it.
was pretty cool. Apparently, I'm going to get a certificate or something. But if
You're
that ever
number
happens,
one.
I would be number one. Yeah. But then this guy, so he goes, I get all that stuff. I'm stoked, and I'm going through it, and then there's another tin of the shop's hand, the healing salve, and there's a note. I got to read this. It's hilarious. It is absolutely hilarious. It says from Travis on the packing slip. It says, thank you for the support. I threw in some an extra small tin of shop hand salve for you to keep in your wife's purse. And I started thinking, I was like, bro, there is like some serious jokes in there, right? Like, I've never had healing salve in my wife's purse. I always carry something else in there, or she always carries mine. So I thought that was hilarious. You know the joke, right?
Not really. It's
You never
funny.
heard. You
No,
never heard when people say, get your balls out your wife's purse."
no, never heard that.
Oh my god, your friends are lame nerds.
Hey,
So, anyways,
we're more interested in cats' asses than
yeah, that's a good save. I was about to really bag on you. That was pretty funny. Yeah, so he told me to take my fucking balls out of my wife's purse and put the healing salve in there. Basically, that's what happened. So that's funny, Travis. Thank you, though. I thought it was really, really super cool for you to throw that in there for us. But for all of your premium wax needs, make sure you go check out Pelican Paste at pelicanpaste.com. You can get your hard wax, soft wax, Pelican oil, hand solve, the new gritty soap, custom tins to include with all your orders. And while you're making that order, go ahead and put in the discount code triple T10. That's TTT10. Love you, Travis. Thank you.
yeah. I shouted him out in my last video when I finished off that Hamon Bowie. I coated it with some of that hard Pelican paste on the handle and the blade. Keep it nice and fresh for whoever its new owner will be. All right, so let's get to business. Let's talk about the big dagger, the throwing knife. Sorry, the big throwing knife challenge at Rick's place. The plan was we were going to get there early morning because we knew it was going to be hot as balls, and forge first thing in the morning. I think we were out in the forge by, I think it was like 7:30. He had the forge pumping, and we got going right at 7:30, something like that, right?
Yeah, it was the
Or
hand
maybe.
solve she stole from me. She hasn't stolen the soap yet.
Oh, all right. I thought it was the soap.
Mm-mm. You had me tripping. I was like, anyways. Yeah, we
Um,
got going really early. And you
yeah.
know how I know it was early, Dennis?
Why?
Because I stayed up way too late and I didn't sleep. I got like 4 hours of sleep. And he initially had texted me, I said, what time do you want to get going? He was like, 6:30, be at the house. And I was like, yeah. So I showed up at 7, but
You're usually early. You're usually up early. He and I were up at. Geez, I think we were up at. We were up probably quarter after 6, having coffee on the porch. But
man, I tell you what, we had a lot of cool shit happen, man. But I really enjoyed just chilling,
yeah,
sitting out there, like the coffee in the morning and the yeah, just
yeah.
super
He
easy vibes.
Rick and his wife, excellent hosts.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, it was a good, and it was nice to relax and get to know Deb, his wife, a little more. And she's really funny,
Yeah,
funnier
they're
than Rick.
yeah, way cooler than Rick. It's kind of like Kim and probably Lynn too.
Yeah,
The
definitely.
ladies are way cooler than us.
Yeah, but we started we each got a bar 5160. We each had our own little design of what our throwing knife was going to be, and Jerid brought props, and Rick had what he was going to do, and I had my little design what I was
So
going to do.
I want to set this up a little bit, right? So if you guys don't understand, my buddy, my dear friend, Mr. Denis Tyrell, is an absolute beast of a competitor, right? He cannot lose at anything. And
I
he is
don't
the
like to
most
lose.
over prepared, super recent. I
Oh, come
guarantee you,
on.
I don't care what you tell me, bro. You spent hours and hours and hours. I mean, of just the most in-depth research on throwing knives. Rick and I woke up. I happened to have my mother had happened to give me these throwing knives like a year ago that have been kind of sitting in my shop. So I just grabbed those on my way out. I was like, well, fuck it. I'll try to do one of these.
All I'm hearing are excuses.
I'm just saying this guy has no just
I watched.
no, hey, let's just have a good time. Had to barge in, ruin my time with Rick to just flex on everybody. But anyways,
I watched one video, and it was mostly on how to throw throwing knives, which was a complete fail.
100%.
Yeah, we all. I'm going to show a part of that in the video, but because if I showed all of you, you would think we are all pathetic. Because I think we threw those knives 100 times before anyone stuck
You
one
guys
into
did.
it. No, before anyone stuck one though. I think we threw those things for.
I wouldn't. It wasn't that bad. Rick and I stuck them right off the bat.
Bullshit.
You had it. Bullshit. 100%.
When you say
And then
right
you
off
guys,
the bat, you mean like the 20th throw?
no. Rick hit it like in the first 5 or 6, and I was right behind him. Now, after that, it was not repeatable, but
Well,
you
okay.
by far threw it like 100 times. But anyways,
let's roll this back. So, the one thing that
Peter. Okay, go ahead.
That Jerid and I wanted to do, we were looking forward to, is using Rick's amazing power hammer to forge these things, which was the most fun of
Absolutely
of the whole thing, right? Is
absolutely
because
without a doubt, not a single moment was cooler than getting
yeah.
to be that. I have to say, I posted on Thursday. I posted a video of the big blue that he has.
Mm-hmm.
And I just put something like, well, hello there,
everyone
big
thought
blue.
you bought a big blue
power hammer. I was like, no, that was not what I was trying to say. I was just,
but even when I read your post, I was like, oh, everyone's going to think you bought a power hammer.
I completely clueless. Didn't even cross my mind. I was really just focused on putting my Crocs on and starting the power hammer with my Crocs and doing that. But yeah, a lot of people did. So my bad if you thought I was misleading you, because that ain't happening.
Yeah, but have you, Jerid? Have we ever forged with 51? Have you ever forged with 51?
I have never. Nope, never,
okay.
Not once. So I do have a story though that when we were at Maker's Camp and we started forged my first knife, I was telling Lawrence that I had a shit ton of 5160, and he was like, that's too bad. Sucks for you. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, I don't get it. And he's like, dude, seriously, that is like one of the hardest steels to move. He's like, it's not for beginners, like
steels,
of the carbon steels. Yeah. He's like, he goes, in fact, he goes, I can't remember what I don't know what he said after that, but I ended up putting an order in for some 1075 because that's what he suggested. And then he actually sent me 2 bars of 5160 and said, have fun, fucker. You think you're so badass? Here, give it a try. You are not going to have fun.
Yeah, I did. The last time I did the beginner series, I started with 5160, and I remember cursing myself for picking that, but I picked it because it's a common steel that most people can use. But Yeah, it does not forge well. So it's fun to be able to forge that stuff on the power hammer. So yeah, I mean,
It was like cake.
yeah, I mean, I think we were done forging in
45 minutes.
Was it 45? It felt like 10. But
Yeah.
that's all of us. That's all three of us.
All three of us, I think we were done definitely within an hour, probably more, about 45 minutes.
Yeah.
We all had
but that's
those.
us sharing and going back and forth. I mean, I think if it was any one of us, we could have done it in 10 minutes. Like,
yeah. And plus, I've never used one. I mean, my forging experience is minimal anyways. And Rick was kind of guiding me through it. But it took a little bit, you got to not be a puss and kind of, get after it a little bit. But once you start, for me, I wanted to say this too, because I've shared this a bunch of times. Forging, it kind of baffles me, right? The rest of knife making, I'm not trying to be conceited or anything like that, but like stock removal, a lot of this stuff's kind of come natural to me, right? It's been more about conceptually, anyways, right? I get it. Forging with the hammer, especially on the anvil, like, and knowing, because you got to be like 3-4 steps ahead, right? You hit it here to know, and then you like gotta, okay, I'm gonna end up over here by doing these couple of steps right there. Using the power hammer was, for my brain, super helpful to actually visualize and see, because you're not waiting,
Yeah,
it's
that
like
stuff happens so much
it's
faster.
instant.
You see it. Yeah.
He's like, okay, well, you want to, hit the, you're trying to put the tip in, right? And I was like, oh, okay, and then he's like, no, like this. And the fucking old damn tip was forged in one heat, and I was just like, oh my god.
But there's
really
certain
cool.
There's certain things, like when he's saying that, oh yeah, if you hit it here, it's going to bulge the end, and then you don't get the fish lips.
Yep.
Yeah, that's great on a power hammer.
Yes.
You try that with doing a 5160 on an anvil. It doesn't work that way.
I don't have any reference to that, but I can see, because I used the hammer a few times, and it was like,
yeah,
it's lame. Power hammers are awesome. That's the
power
moral of the
hammers
stories.
are awesome for forging, like strictly forging something. There's nothing better. Could you imagine the combo of induction forge and power hammer? Like, you'd be done in like 5 minutes.
Wow.
It'd be so quick.
Wow.
I see why Rick has like 145 unforged knives sitting in his bucket.
Oh my god, I would never finish anything. Oh my god.
It is super fun. Maybe not 145, maybe 25, but
he's got a lot of projects in the works, but yeah, that dude's super cool.
Yeah. So
incredible.
So after forging, we were gonna relax for the rest of the day. Oh, we got to talk about, we had Virginia City.
Yeah.
So Rick is in Reno, and Virginia City, if you don't know, Virginia City is like, it was like a gold and silver boom town. And
Comstock mines. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's way up in the hills, and now it's like a tourist area,
Street Vibes, or I think Street Vibes goes up there as a big motorcycle event a couple times a year.
Yeah. So I had never been to Virginia City, and so I thought it was really cool. We had lunch up there, and
Old West Town. You got the wood, walkways. It's all slanted and shit. I think you said it, but I was like, yeah, you feel drunk just kind of walking down the road there.
Well, I had that Long Island at lunch. I was a little tipsy to begin with, but
man.
But that was fun. And then we went back. And what the hell did we do after that?
We started doing the knives at night. We
did all this.
We were heat treating.
Yeah, we did the heat treating. That's what it was. And then we did some surface grinding and stuff like that. But
you ground the bevels in that night. Remember?
Yeah, that was later. That was, So we got to all that. Rick's got a whole separate grinding room, which is great. And the grinding room is air conditioned, which is awesome.
It's my favorite place.
Yeah. So I'm grinding. I'm putting the bevels on my throwing knife are like steep false edge kind of bevels, and I'm putting those in. And Jerid comes in, and I'm videoing my section, and Jerid comes in and goes, "Turn the video off." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Turn the video off. I got to show you something." And then he throws the two halves of his knife on the rest for me to look at. Jerid, tell us what happened.
Well, the guys were a little ahead of me with the process, and I had spent a good amount of time. So these knives have been heat treated, tempered. I think we got them down to 56.
56.
Yeah, I think it was 56 spring steel. Was surface grinding on the platen, trying to get it down flat enough to get on the surface grinder. And so went back and we threw it on the surface grinder, and it had just an ever so slight warp, super faint, but it was enough to.
Was it even a 16th of an inch?
It was
Bow?
so small,
You
yeah.
guys
But it was
just love-
just enough to not like the magnetic chuck, was kind of. Anyways, so Rick grabs it, throws it in his 3-point straightening jig
attached to
and
his vise.
attached to his vise, and gives it a crank down and corrects most of it, right?
Should have
Then we go
left it
back to
alone.
we go back to the surface grinder, and he's like, "Man, I'm gonna see this." So we end up going back there. He gives it a freaking, a Rick Hall, probably, for us normal, feeble human beings, it would have been all of our might, but he probably just gave it a little too much, and tink, that fucking thing snapped right in half, right, just like quarter inch past the ricasso. Like, I mean, it was heartbreaking.
Well, it did wound him on the way, at least.
Yeah, it got him. It stuck him pretty good, actually, too.
Yeah.
But yeah, so my knife broke in half, and we ended up having to doctor it up quite a few times because it never stayed again. We welded it back up, and I had all the bevels ground in, and it was good. I was stoked. I love the way that it came out. And then it broke. So that's the first time that's ever happened to me. I've never seen it. The coolest part was the grain structure.
Oh, it was like powder.
Was beautiful.
Yeah.
It was like powder. Yeah, like it. Rick was and let me just disclaimer here. Rick was mortified. He was absolutely like, I could see it in his face, and I wasn't upset. I never, not even for a minute, but yeah, I could totally see he felt like shit, So it was kind of hard because he's a sweetheart. I didn't want to, but he's an asshole too, just like us. So don't get me wrong. I spent a good part of the weekend talking shit and trying to make him feel worse, but I really felt bad for a minute because he was just like, oh my god, it was. I think Denis must have paid him a shit ton of money. Like, I'm pretty sure about it. Go ahead.
His logic was that, well, it's spring steel and it's down to 56. I'm like, what would possess you to put that in a vise and crank down on it and expect that it's going to bend and retain its shape? It would have needed heat.
He was convinced because he was pretty confident, but
maybe if it was at 45, not 55, 56.
Yeah, I don't know, man, but it happened, and I hope he got paid good.
Hey, you could still throw it. You just had to repair it a few times.
Yeah. So what ended happening was we called it a night, went to sleep, kind of, and then I got up in the morning, went to breakfast, built the. You guys did all that because I was repairing my knife, the target, right?
Yeah, built a target with some like rounds from just log rounds he had cut off and put it on some plywood. It was actually a pretty good target, except the rounds kept, they were
a little dry. They broke up pretty
apart.
Yeah.
But we drug the target over to a field and
commenced to learning that we don't know how to throw knives. I mean, that's the bottom line. Like, in all seriousness, that is harder than it sounds.
Yeah. The
I,
one,
I'm humbled by
yeah,
the fact of knife throwing is not easy.
yeah,
And probably too, like I said, we have no Denis, like you said, he watched the video and I guess Rick had some experience, with some buddies of his that make throwing knives and stuff, but I had zero idea. I don't know. I didn't know if I had the right weight, if the length, like I said, I kind of modeled it after one that I had seen, but no, there's plenty to be learned there in that realm.
yeah. I watched one video on how to throw like a no spin, so throwing a throwing knife without spinning it, and sounded easy.
Yeah.
You watching the guy in the video, and he's throwing them from 20 feet, and they're not spinning, and he shows you in the video. So I get up there in front. I could not. If I wasn't more than 4 feet away from that target, that thing was spinning like a something that spins.
A top?
Yeah, a ballerina.
Oh, that's interesting.
uh, yeah, it was. And then I guess for a little while we all figured, let's just throw them harder. Maybe they'll stick then.
Yeah,
And I think that's when the weld, because we were launching these things from, I don't know, how far were we, 10 feet,
probably 10 feet. Yeah.
10 feet. But we're hitting them so poorly, and they're landing on the sides, and they're hitting the side of the target and the side of the log, that Jerid's weld comes apart, and his your knife looked more like a boomerang for a little while.
It did. I was like, hey, I think this is
Yeah.
toast.
So
One of them almost came back and got me, and you actually you were walking away. That thing came whizzing right past you, dude.
yeah, and
That
that's,
probably would have stuck with our luck, right?
but we were barely, we might have stuck 5 of them at that point, and I think we were throwing them for 20 minutes. Like, we were not getting it. And then we finally all said, maybe we just need to slow this down and not throw them as fast.
No,
And then,
first, let's get real here. We threw for a little bit, maybe 10, 15 throws a piece. Mine broke. Then they sent me off back to the shop to go weld mine up. Then they spend, so by the time I'm over there doing that, they're just continuing throwing. We come back. I start throwing mine a little again. It breaks again. I go back to the shop and re-weld it again. They're still practice. And then I walk back and they're like, okay, let's go. Let's compete. Let's start the competition.
no, it wasn't quite that bad.
It
We
was that
still
bad.
didn't.
Rick,
We
I
still
promise
didn't,
you, Rick will back me up on that.
we still didn't figure it out until you came back, and we slowed it down. And then maybe there was one time that you had to go and weld it again, but
Yeah, it was a lot, dude. You guys spent a lot of time throwing them while I was welding. But anyway, we went back. We did it, and then I don't remember the scores, but I hit a bullseye,
you
and then Denis kind
what
of won us to death and ended up
on the first
winning.
one, Rick and I were pretty close. We were up to we got it up to Rick and I were tied at 5, and you had nothing, and then you hit a bullseye, which gives you 5.
Yep.
And then I kind of won you guys to death. The game was to
And then
10.
I think we did it again, and then it was more
What happened on the second
and
one?
You won us to death.
I skunked you both on the second game.
I don't think you skunked anybody, but
I have it on video, pal.
I want to see the video without you editing it.
All right, I'll put the whole 20-minute raw
You know what?
footage.
No, please don't. There's some unflattering things there. You know what was a bummer though is we did the outro, right? And like I thought we were gonna do something else. So I was just like standing there. I didn't even say anything. I didn't even give you any good content. I just kind of
You
was
said
like,
something.
well, I'm like, oh yeah, he won, or But yeah, I tell you what, man, playing a game with Denis is either extremely fun or absolutely fucking unbearable because he is so serious. Like you can't the jokes go out the window.
Oh, come on, we were joking the whole time.
He was so serious, and he just So we let him win. Rick,
Full of shit.
I want to just commend you on your humility and understanding that my buddy is very serious about these things, and So we did a good deed.
Uh,
It's called paying it forward, Dennis.
okay.
You give
Okay.
when you don't have to.
If you want to send you or Rick want to send me some audio clips that you want included in the video, then send me some audio clips.
Yeah, you'll have to bleep the whole thing.
I can do that.
Yes.
So, folks, if you want to see this, tune into my Triple T video this Thursday. You'll get to see all these shenanigans and us having fun. And really appreciate Rick for having us for the weekend. And both Jerid and Rick were good sports.
Yeah, it was a good time. In all seriousness, it was a lot of fun. I think making the knives was super fun. It was cool. I mean, for me, like I said, I think that's one of the cool things about what we do here is, the dynamic of you being more experienced and me not, but having Rick Hall and Dennis Tyrell in your corner while you're, using the power hammer for the first time, and he taught us some different ways to grind some bevels and clips. Showed us some cool stuff that I'm sure Dennis and I will be talking about in future. But it was an amazing time. I learned a ton just from talking with you guys, So, and like you said, Deborah and Rick were amazing hosts, and Mom too. She was awesome. She's a little fire plug. The whole weekend was really cool, and the best part about it, guys, it was so chill. I mean, other than Dennis's unbearable time, no, we were competing, but like for the most part, though, it was completely chill. It was hot as what, but it was such a good time, really decompressing, and just all about chilling out and hanging out with friends and talking knives, which all our fellow knife makers know that you get with another maker and you guys just. I mean, how many times we sidebar off into some just completely different
Oh,
direction
yeah.
about something that we started and we're like, what the fuck are we doing?
Constantly. Yeah. But
Yeah.
that was the fun part.
Yeah. It was great.
Yeah.
And then we came home.
I
And on the way home, we took a scenic route through the Sierras, Highway 88, it's called. And I just, for all the shit that we get for being in California, I want to just tell you guys what an absolute stunning, beautiful state this is. Minus the people and the politics, but this state is just absolutely gorgeous. I mean, we literally can get through so many different types of terrains and ecosystems and like sceneries, from dry desert up in the high altitude down to the beach in 4 hours. Not anywhere else you can get that. It was beautiful.
I agree. I was going to say the exact same thing. Like, as much, shit I talk about California, that was one of the most beautiful drives I've ever done. I think we went through, what did we pass? Like 6 absolutely gorgeous mountain lakes with pine trees all around and rocky cliffs and like the stuff's in movies. Like, it was spectacular.
Beautiful.
So
Sun was setting. I actually didn't get I've traveled a lot from up that way down back to the Bay Area. So 108 is another beautiful drive. Same thing. 120 is probably the most beautiful drive, and it's
meh,
gorgeous.
I thought
One
88 was better.
from the top down.
Yeah.
You've been
Yeah.
up to from 395 down.
Yeah. Oh, 120. 120 goes to Yosemite.
Yeah. So from
Oh, yeah.
Yosemite Valley up to 395, you're
Oh,
coming
no,
down
sorry.
that way.
I've never
Oh,
gone past Yosemite.
oh my God, that is something you have to
Okay.
do.
I've never
That
done
is
that.
it is 88 fish from 88. That one is but you get the sun when you're coming down in the evening, the sun's setting, and you can get blinded the whole way down. It didn't we timed that perfect. I
Yeah.
didn't have
It was
no sun.
it was really nice, except the fact that it poured rain, which we were crying for all weekend.
That was a bitch. That was a big middle finger on us as we were coming out of leaving Nevada.
Yeah, for sure. But super fun time. And that was just the icing on the cake, the beautiful drive home.
Yeah, it was
But
really cool.
so what's coming up for you this week? Back to work?
Yeah, that was at work today. Got a bunch of people not feeling well, so
Yeah. What? Family not feeling well?
Nah, work.
Oh,
It's
work.
kind of yeah. So I don't know. Tomorrow's my meeting day here, so it might be good. But yeah, busy day at work. It's supposed to be hot all the way through I think the end of the week, and then we're actually supposed to get down into the 80s this weekend. So I'm looking forward to that because I have quite a few things on the go that I'm just not interested in roasting in my shop to do. So I'm looking forward to this weekend to get some stuff done and get some shop time. And oh,
Nice.
I was gonna say too. Rick gave me after putting us up and or putting me up personally and putting up with me. uh, Rick gave me a beautiful feather uh, billet that I'm maybe this weekend we'll draw that bitch out.
Yeah, that was to make up for breaking your knife.
It was before he gave it to me before,
He
thankfully.
did. He did.
Yeah. Otherwise, I'd have been like, no. But that
Oh,
was super awesome, because I've only ever had the stuff that I've made with you. I bought this one piece that knife was I got to finish that one. That the German tank from I think it was Dama
oh
Works
yeah, yeah, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
with the Leo 4 German tank barrel.
Yeah.
That shit's that, and I only bought it because it was like a steal at Blade Show West, and that was the only time I've ever purchased stuff. So I got to
Hmm.
get some Baker Forge and tool, but the and now I got this piece from Rick. So I don't
Nice.
know. Maybe my mono steel declaration may be put on hold because
Because you got two nice pieces of Damascus to work on.
yeah, and then I got the basket weave now, and oof,
Yeah.
I'm stoked.
I'm starting to knock out some custom orders. I told you that Bowie. I've got 3 swords coming up.
You gonna
Um,
forge those things?
yeah,
You know what you're gonna use?
yeah.
Yeah, because I used mine. I have some beautiful, beautiful time for the first time. Actually, the first time was with for the copper scoop, but I got to swing my fat peen around this weekend up in Nevada. You know, it's oddly enough is the only time I've used my two bastards fat cross peen or straight peen is outside of California. Once
Oh,
in Florida and once in
oh,
Nevada.
bring it to Maker Camp.
Yeah, that's probably the next time I do it because you got to get the induction forge thing is still pissing me off. But
You do have an Apollo forge.
yeah, I don't want to burn my house down. You saw the last time I set that thing on.
Would you
That
like me to show you how to light it?
yeah, that would be nice because that was the inspiration of that big fireball thing at the foundry. It was me telling that story of me freaking blowing my freaking camera pod off.
One other thing I got to announce. Oh, but yes, definitely get your. If you need a nice fat peen, go get your own Two Bastards hammer over at Two Bastards Texas Smithy and Supplies. Go talk to Frank and Nita. They will set you up. They are the hammer maker extraordinaire. And if you're up in Canada or you want to get one from Maritime, you can get the Vaquero custom hammer for Maritime made by Two Bastards. So it's a little sponsor team up.
We partner with the best, and we are supported by the best, and we appreciate you.
And Two Bastards is also a sponsor of the upcoming Apocalyptic Challenge. So stay tuned. Next week, you guys are going to hear about the Apocalyptic Challenge.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah. So
So what are you
sometime next
making?
week, you're going to hear about it.
What are you making?
I can't tell you.
What do you mean you can't tell me? We want to know. Look, I'm speaking for the 5 people here.
Oh no, I am not letting this one out of the bag this time because you guys are just going to shit on me. I am going to make something nice. You will see.
You want to know something funny, Dennis? Before we get out of here, you want to know something funny? You started. Jeff's been helping you with the
Sand sharks.
The sand shark, right? So
Which
I've
are
been
back in
busting
stock, by the way. Get your
Ooh.
sand shark back in stock.
Tyrell, Knifeworks.com. Get all your sand shark goods for all your sanding needs. Straight lines, crooked lines. Yeah, so I was texting him the other day. I was like, hey, remember me? Basically what I'm saying is like, I miss you, friend. Like,
you don't remember me,
Denis.
the guy that doesn't pay you for stuff?
Yeah, you know, the one that just was your lifelong friend and supported you through thick and thin, and you know. But he fucking asshole texts me on the way home. Hey, I just listened to the podcast. Do you want me to bring Denis a piece of that steel?
He told me already.
I was like, you mother. Yeah, please, because I'm not going over there to bring it to him.
Yeah, he's bringing it to me tomorrow.
That's cool. Well, you're welcome.
All right, man. You got anything else you want to talk about?
No, I think we paid all our bills. And I got two things, but I think we'll table them for next week.
All right.
Because one of them is an absolute gem, guys. My buddy Denis just never ceases to amaze me. Maybe next week I will share it with you, but you're going to have to tune into the Triple T podcast on all your podcast streaming places.
A cliffhanger.
That's right.
All right, we're done. See you later, folks. Oh, I just hit the button twice.
Oh, you screwed me up right there, dude. And that's a wrap.